Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Paleo, and today I'm going to be drawing Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah from Godzilla King of the Monsters. So stay tuned for that, and get your pencils and paper out, and let's get to drawing. Alright, so before we get started drawing, I want you guys to go in the comments and comment whatever it is that you guys want me to draw next. I love hearing you guys' suggestions, and I really don't have anything planned after this. I'm going to be doing Godzilla Earth after this, but after that I really don't have anything else planned. So yeah, just leave me whatever. It can be anything dinosaur, kaiju related, anything you want. Just leave it down in the comments and I'll try to do it as best as I can. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I have a crap ton of reference images, so I'm not going to show them all. So if you want to see them, here they are. Alright, so there's my reference images. Gotta show them. Hopefully you did. Maybe, maybe not. Alright, so the plan is to have Godzilla over in this area over here, and then Ghidorah is kind of going to be flying up in the sky, and he's going to have his tail kind of like intertwining around Godzilla. And you're not going to be able to see all of them because I'm trying to make this more theatrical. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with Godzilla. He's going to be on the left side here. And his body, he's going to be angled like that, in more or less a 45-degree angle. So we're going to have Godzilla be way down here. And I just not realized, I can probably make him like really big actually. Ghidorah's wings are probably going to spread off about here and come over. And then they're going to be seen again over here, kind of like circling around, and then these other ones are going to kind of go over to the left side out of view. So we can probably have Godzilla. So let me draw him a bit more inwards so we can get a better view of his tail. Yeah, so somewhere in there would probably be good. And then his body comes over here like that. Then we need to have his arms. If you guys ever see me like pausing for a moment, that's probably because I'm just trying to get a better look at my reference images. So try to bear with that part. The other hand is going to be coming out over here. Like so. Then his legs are coming out over here like this. And there's gonna be some over here. I'm gonna have like a layer of fog too, or like not really fog, but like dust, or like, you know, from like the city rubble or whatever you want to call it. And so that's gonna be covering up the most part of both of his legs. So and his other leg. Actually, you know what? I'm going to erase this. Have this leg come out right here. And since we're not gonna draw the foot, we don't really need to sketch it in here. We can have this come out on this side. This is gonna be his left leg. And that's gonna come down like that. And then of course you're gonna have this tail. We're just gonna and curve it a different way. like that. Okay, and then we're gonna do his head, and his head's gonna be right about there. So I practiced doing this before, and his neck turned out like really long by accident. I might end up doing that here, but I'll just try to hope for the best. Maybe I should just draw his neck in first. Alright, let me pause for a moment. I'm gonna get some different reference images to help out. Alright, so, whoops, I don't even have my mic where it's supposed to be. Alright, so, I'm gonna have his shoulder blade be right here. His neck's gonna come up from that. Okay, might have to find a way to make his neck a bit different or get smaller, I suppose. I don't know. We'll just figure it out as we go. It's fine. All right. So again, you have the eye ridge. And that's just gonna go back like that. I always kind of make this line with the top jaw and bottom jaw, so make sure that it's not really, so that way my dinosaur or kaiju with assistance doesn't have a underbite or overbite. Alright, so that's our Godzilla. Actually, you know what? Let me erase this part of the neck and change that real quick. Just kind of make it a bit more like that. Alright. Can go ahead and erase this line right here. So yeah, that's our base outline for our Godzilla. I'm going to go ahead and flesh in this tail a little bit. We should make the tail a bit longer. I'm going to make it a bit longer. So you know that Godzilla has an immensely long tail. But I definitely know that the Shin Godzilla has a much longer tail. Which I might end up drawing that if you guys want me to. So if you guys want me to draw Shin Godzilla, you can put that down in the comments too. So yeah, I'm going to have his tail go like that. I might go in and make his legs a bit longer, maybe. Maybe that looks a bit good, maybe that doesn't, I don't know. Alright, so that's our outline for Godzilla. And then we're going to have King Ghidorah, and he's going to be, I want to make sure that he has enough room for all of his heads. So we're going to put his body right here. It's okay if you're going to draw ignoring your Godzilla or whatever first. And then you can just erase it later, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, he has really small legs. In both the 2019 movie and the original Japanese movies. Okay, so we like that. Right here. So like that. And the other leg, you're not gonna see it as much. Gonna come out, actually we don't really even need to draw it. It's probably fine. And then gonna have the wing come out like so. Okay, and the wing come out like this. And then that's gonna kind of come around here. And then that's gonna also come swerving around over here. Another weird thing that I also noticed too, looking at the designs for him in the new movie, is that he has 3 weird things sprouting out from here, that is, things attached to, along with 3 sections branching off from this midpoint right here. So I'm going to make those. So there's that one, and then so it's like that. And then this, have this one. Actually, we can go ahead and, yeah, alright. Have that one come over here like this. Alright, just trying to make sure that everything's in view so you guys can see everything. Alright, so have this come over like so. This is probably gonna be like that. So yeah, we had 3 different sections. So this is probably gonna be more straight. This one's gonna be more or less like that. Alright, and then we have the other wing. And then that's gonna just kind of be coming out over here like that. His body's a bit too fat, might want to slim that up a bit. So yeah, it's gonna come up like that, and then have the 3 segments. Then you have the 3 segments over here. I'm just gonna branch off like this. Alright. Alright, and then we're gonna have the head, or heads, I should say. So the first one is gonna be the left head, or Ghidorah's left head. From our view, it's the right. I kind of look up, or look down, kind of curve down like that. And the other one is gonna curve up, and this one's probably gonna be more in profile view than the other ones. Then you have the left head, or right heading Ghidorah's perspective, like that. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Might make the necks a bit longer. Like that. And then we're going to have the heads. Now Ghidorah has a very specific head shape that I want to try to get right on all of these. Alright, so top jaw has a weird indentation at the very end of it right here, which then goes in, and then you have an eye ridge, a lot like Godzilla's, except that whenever you come back up, you want to make sure that you still keep escalating it, like so. Let me go ahead and erase that part though, because that's not looking quite as good as I would like it to. Alright. I'm definitely a perfectionist, if you guys can't tell already. Alright. So that's kind of the base outline for his head, and then you have the classic spike things coming up from the back. There are 5, I believe, on each side. That go like so. I'm gonna see a bit from the other side here. Like that. Alright, and then the next head, the middle head, is going to be right here, and that's going to be looking like so. Maybe not like that, because that looks wrong. Alright. So, kind of looks like that. Make sure that you have the curve at the bottom of the jaw here. Then I'm going to go ahead and have this one just be closed. Like that. I don't think you guys can even see any of that. Okay, so I'm going to erase that. That looks a bit weird. Another thing that's really interesting that Mike Doherty said is that each of the heads have a distinct personality. So I thought that was really interesting. Another thing to note is that apparently each of the necks have different spines on them based on different versions of Ghidorah that have been made in previous years. For the sake of symmetry in the drawing, we're just going to keep them all the same. So we can go in and draw in or flesh out the necks. The head right here might have just been a bit too big. So may or may not keep that. Alright. And then we have the last head here, which is going to be open. Make sure you have this little Tyrannosaurian osteoderm right here in the jaw, which for those of you that don't know, osteoderm means bone skin, and it's basically a part in the skin that kind of has just like a bony growth, which is most prominently seen on Carnotaurus and Ceratosaurus, which are the only 2 dinosaurs that have been proven to have, only 2 theropod dinosaurs have been proven to have osteoderms. So yeah, we got the rest of this head. It's gonna look like so. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to flesh this head out here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and erase this leg here for Ghidorah. And that's still a bit too small. I'm going to make that a teeny tiny bit longer. Sorry about that. Alright, so probably going to come out about here. So you don't want to have it from here, then back. You want to make sure that you have the feet close together, because you notice in a lot of flying animals like birds and stuff, they always have their toes really close together. You have the dew claw, and that's gonna just kind of come up like that, and then the other leg is gonna come from over here. Alright, so yeah, that's gonna be over here, and then that's gonna be out of view almost completely. Yeah, and then we're gonna draw the tail in, or the tails in. He has two tails. So yeah, we're gonna have the tails kind of swerve around like that. We'll have the other one kind of follow the same pattern, but just go a bit differently. Like that. Alright, so I think that looks pretty good. I'm actually gonna make these a bit longer because his tails are pretty long. So yeah. Alright, and then we're gonna go in sketching Godzilla's spines. So let me just pull up my reference images for that real quick. Alright, so first of all, I'm gonna go in and draw the big one just so I have a better sense of perspective with it. I'm gonna kind of draw a big line first just to kind of get the overall size of it right. It's about that big. And it's pretty much right above the femur. So right about there, I would say. And then it has kind of a shape like this. It kind of has different parts that just go out. Then, yeah, that's like that. And then there's this part that goes a bit more outwards. That. So it looks pretty much like that. I don't know if that's entirely right. Okay, I'm gonna make a slight change real quick. To this side at least. Alright, so it looks more like that. Now I have a better sense of where everything is. I'm going to start at pretty much the base of the neck here, which has some small spikes, probably smaller than what I have drawn. Kind of just increase in size. So you can just kind of draw them a bit more randomized. You can have different ones intercrossing with another, just so we get a better sense of like how many there really are. Because he doesn't have like one row, he has like 3 rows that are all kind of a bit random. Just drawing all of them. Just gonna draw some lines right here. Then we're gonna draw this line right here. That's gonna kind of give us how the top of the tail is turning, and then it's gonna turn over here. So he's not just lifting up, he's also lifting the tail up, he's also twisting it. So you want to make sure that you have that effect. And alright, and then we can go ahead and start drawing these. The key to drawing Godzilla's spikes is randomness. So you want to make sure that it feels natural, that it looks natural, and not too over thought out or anything like that. So yeah, and then they get to a point where they start becoming a lot smaller. And they kind of just continue with that pattern throughout the rest of the tail, getting a tiny bit smaller and smaller every single time. Until they get to a point where they're basically just small spikes and not necessarily having any pattern. So yeah, spikes coming all the way down to the very end of his tail. Then I'm going to draw the other spikes that are covering up the ones we just drew. So yeah, pretty much like that. Alright, and I'm going to go in, I guess for this part of the video, because I'm probably going to make it into separate parts, because I probably have to. It's going to be just incredibly long, probably. And I can go ahead and draw out the wings. Probably make this a bit bigger. So I just kind of make little connections between each of them, kind of making like a spider web type curve. And the closer they are, the bigger the curve should be. And the same with these. So yeah, pretty much like that. Another thing I noticed is that Ghidorah doesn't have any kind of spike or anything, or finger or anything emerging from the midpoint in the wing, which is another detail that was kind of interesting to me. So yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and draw in the smoke, which is going to be covering pretty much all of Godzilla's leg and maybe a bit of the wing here. So I'm probably going to have to move this up quite a bit. Alright, so I'm going to start out on the far left side here. Just kind of get it randomized. This might take me a couple of tries. So, yeah. Alright, I'm going to have to erase this. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. Okay. So the key is to have it pretty much escalate right in this area right here somewhere. So we want it to build up and then quickly escalate. Okay, so we have bigger shapes. Pretty much like that. a lot like a cloud, if you're familiar with drawing realistic clouds and not first grader cartoony clouds. So yeah, pretty much like that. Actually, we can probably have this be a bit more gradual. But yeah, pretty much like that is how it's gonna look. So we can probably just erase those parts of Godzilla's leg. Alright, and then we're also gonna have some buildings kind of just stuck in the rubble. So we're going to get to drawing those. To just kind of make, you know, rectangular figures throughout the entire area. You don't really need a whole lot, just enough so that way you can convey the fact that there is buildings or that they're in a city. Probably want to make the buildings a bit bigger too. So you don't want to oversize Godzilla and King Ghidorah enough so much that they look almost cartoony in size. You still want to keep a semi-realistic aspect to it, so you might go in and have one of the buildings kind of just be covering up part of Godzilla's tail. And another one might be over here. And we might have a skyscraper somewhere in here, but that's going to be behind Ghidorah, so we're not going to see all of it, and a smaller building right next to it. Something like that. So yeah, I'm going to just erase these extra lines. Alright. So that is pretty much it for our base sketch tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the second part, which should be uploaded soon. And yeah, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep your pencils sharp, everybody.